Hey guys, I'm filming this like kind of late. I meant to film yesterday, but I got caught up in stuff and I didn't feel very good, so I didn't bother. Oops. I really I wasn't feeling very good. So I decided to relax instead and not worry about if my content will be good enough or everything I worry about before I do these, because I worry about a lot of things, which is normal of, anxiety and all of that stuff. So, but I made myself a new little filming spot instead of outside in front of the garage. I'm inside of the garage now because I have my couch in here, and I thought, well, if I move stuff over, I can just use my couch and sit on my couch in the garage, and then I'm not distracted by every car that goes by and worried about everything. There'll be time to get more used to being out and about. It's been very hard for me, and I'm having a hard time struggling with getting myself out of the house again. It's my normal, regular battle that I have all the time, but this way it's also, I have it set up so I don't have to hold the phone, so you don't keep hearing me shifting and like on the microphone, because that's in a lot of the videos playing back. You can hear the noise as I move. So I eliminated that because I made myself a little setup, which I'll probably like film on my like Snapchat or something, because it's literally on top of just boxes I haven't unpacked since moving yet. Because most of them I don't really need inside the house right this moment, because it's just blankets and books and all kinds of random stuff that, people hold on to but never end up actually like needing to survive for any reason, but I keep it. I didn't really have anything planned to talk about. See, that's another problem. The biggest problem I'm encountering is that it's hard to film if you don't do anything, I feel like. And then I feel like whatever I have to talk about or whatever I want to mention or anything isn't really worthwhile, because it's not like I'm interesting. Because like I keep thinking, gosh, if only I were interesting, I could be a cool YouTuber, or if only I were interesting, I could be like an actress. If only I was interesting, I could make friends or whatever. And I feel like that's something that should be mentioned, is that a lot of people don't realize that you are interesting whether you think you're interesting or not. Like, somebody out there will be like, this person is cool, I like this person, they do neat things. And you'll sit there and be like, why? I'm trash. and that's just how that works out. I mean, watching some of my favorite YouTubers, I can see they also struggle with stuff like that. Like Shane Dawson, huge hero of mine, and he's constantly got self-esteem and anxiety issues and the body dysmorphia he has and stuff, and he thinks nobody wants to look at him, and that everyone thinks he's fat, and that everyone thinks he's ugly, which none of that is true. A lot of people think he's a really attractive man, and he's lovely, and he's so sweet. I would give my left arm to just meet the guy, even though I'd probably have the world's worst panic attack. So, but how cool would it be if I ever like collabed with him? That would be everything. Though again, I would probably, most of the video would be me huddled in a corner somewhere, just sobbing, and him being like, "It's okay, we'll figure this out." And I'm just like, "We won't though, because I'm trash." But he calls himself trash all the time, and he's not. And then recently he did a collab with Bunny, Graveyard Girl, who's another huge hero of mine, and she follows me on Twitter, and it's so sweet. But she thinks she's trash, and then she's just sitting there like, is this content worth putting out now? Because she's done this Bunny 2.0, and she's so worried that, like, well, if I do one of my normal videos, will people hate me? Will people think I'm going back to my old way? It's like, and the problem is that it's being overthought, because she's sitting there going, oh God, I'm not cool, I'm not interesting, I'm nobody, so I should just not, do anything. And it's like, no, again, just put it out. There's someone there somewhere that will watch it, and I need to take that advice myself. I'm not interesting, I'm so boring, and it's like, that's not fair. I mean, babbling about something, it might be, somebody somewhere might see this and be like, oh, I struggle with that too, I understand, and then, it builds a community, and that's what I want. And like, I mean, I want to do a lot of interesting things with this channel. It's just, I don't know, like how to begin and where to start, and I'm struggling with like overthinking everything, and I need to stop overthinking everything and just come out here and just go for it. I did have an idea though that I kind of stole from Bunny a little bit. I'm not gonna like do the whole thing she's doing necessarily, but she has this like thing she was trying to do called Wreck It Wednesday, which is like she has this journal called a Wreck This Journal thing, and she does a couple pages on it for the video, and I kind of like the idea because I think it would get me out of like my shell a little more, because it'll tell me to do a thing and then I have to do the thing, but I don't want to like steal what she was doing, and I don't want to like copy necessarily and like step on toes and piss anyone off, excuse me, upset anyone. I don't want to make her mad and like make anybody mad or whatever, but I think that would be a really cute idea that like, well, I would still be vlogging and just talking like I'm doing now, like just sitting and chatting with you guys, but while doing something as well, because just sitting here doing nothing, it makes me feel like this is so boring. I'm just sitting here and just babbling about nothing. But yeah, that's half the struggle, I guess, with the whole thing, is that I'm just sitting there and I'm stressing myself out and worrying and like whatever, just pacing the house, because I'm like, there's no point in me filming anything. I don't do anything. I'm nobody. I just sit in my house. And it's like, well, I mean, I can always find stuff to talk about, I suppose. Like, we could talk about different types of mental disorders and stuff like that. My struggle with trying to fill out the disability paper, because I'm terrified to fill it out. Just filling out the form to apply scares the shit out of me. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm scared of or what I'm worried about happening or whatever. The worst that they can do is go, nah, and then I have to fill it out again, because that's usually how that works, is that when you do a disability form, you tend to get denied a few times before they finally go, okay, and then, get a hearing or something, which also is terrifying. I don't know about doing a hearing, because that would mean I'd have to go and be judged by people, and that scares me. So, but my struggle is even just starting the process, and it's coming to a point, it's like, this is something I need, unless like I hit the lottery or something. I do need help, and I can't get myself out of the house to go work a normal job. And a lot of people don't understand that is a struggle with a lot of people. Like, we're not faking this just because we want to be lazy or whatever. I'm not lazy. I hate being considered lazy. I spend most of my time either busying myself with hobbies, busying myself with my child, busying myself with chores. Like, I don't like to just sit around doing nothing. Like, that bothers me. I mean, there are days, obviously, where I'll just be sitting and then I'll be knitting or something, but I'm still busying myself with doing something. Like, I'm almost finished with a blanket I started, like, 6 months ago or something. I'm gonna start, and I have a bad habit. This is the hugest worst habit I have. I have multiple sets of knitting needles, so all of them have something on them. Like, all of them have something started. Like, I have 4 different blankets coming out. Like, but I'm almost finished with one of them, but when I'm bored with those colors, I go and do the other one for a while, and then I go back, and then I was making, like, 4 scarves in one go at once. I tend to, like, over-hobby myself. Like, I have a bunch of dolls I need to sew up so that I can put them on my Etsy. But the problem is I'm doing that, and then I'm doing blankets, and then I'm doing something over here, and it's like I'm not getting the first one done fast enough or in a reasonable rate, because I'm also doing like 10 other ones on the side. Like, I'm just always doing like that kind of thing, and it's a real problem. And then I end up overwhelming myself and then just sitting there, because then I'm overwhelmed. And that's half the problem. But yeah, I used to work at Walmart. I worked at Walmart on and off since 2007. So I'm like a Walmart veteran over here. And I made it through the laddering to a customer service manager, which overnight, but which was such a good job. Like, I enjoyed it in a lot of ways, but then the fact that I have anxiety and all these other problems, anytime anything got kind of difficult. You have that one customer that's starting to yell at you and like all of that stuff. Like I would put on my Walmart face, which is just like a mask I would wear to pretend I could handle it. And then when the customer left, I'd end up in the bathroom on the ground just crying because I couldn't handle it anymore. And it's like I ended up having to like leave that job because I was absent a lot, because I was too sick to go to work because of the stress. Like when I have anxiety issues, it manifests as me like getting sick. Like I get fevers, I throw up, I can't work and be in the bathroom at the same time. Like I can't, there was no point in me throwing up all night while I'm at work. And plus I had only was able to work overnight, because working during the day, it's way too many customers. Like I couldn't do it. But working overnight, it's a lot less, so it's calmer. But then I'm missing out on my child because I'm at work all night and then I sleep all day. So it's like I never see him because I'm only awake when he like put him to bed, and then I go to work, and then like it's the same process over again. And then on my days off, I have to stay to that same schedule. I can't switch schedules like that. Like I know a lot of people that could, and then they are up all day for their day off or whatever, but it's not something I can do. Like, when I do that, I also get sick. Like my body doesn't handle things well. It gets sick for everything. So I really like have to come to terms with the fact that I am struggling and I need help. Like I see a therapist, and she suggested the disability too. She said that once I fill it out and stuff, they'll ask her for some stuff, and then she'll send it over and whatever, because she legit agrees that working a normal job is just, that's something that will probably kill me. I was going to the hospital and the ER and stuff for pain in my abdomen and stuff like that, because it was causing ulcers. It was like I can't handle the stress of stuff like that. And I wonder if there were a job that is like, because Walmart's a really stressful job. Like the other people that work there will mention that, because they work you a lot of hours and ask extra stuff of you and stuff like that, which is fine, and a lot of people can handle it, but they will agree that 90% of their workday is them running back and forth, because there's just so much to do, and it's never ending, because you have to constantly clean up and constantly, like, you're always doing something. There's no such thing as an employee in that store that's not doing something. Like, there isn't a position for someone that's just sitting behind a desk or something. There's always a lot of things they have to do, whether it looks like it or not, because I'm sure a lot of customers think that we do nothing whatsoever there, but it's not true. Because I mean, part of my job, I was an overnight customer service supervisor, so I had to supervise the cashiers. Great. But I also had to flip the money in the cash registers, because at midnight the numbers change, so by midnight you have to put the new till and take out the old till, so that they can count the old till from the day before, so that they can keep up with their profits and losses and etc. But on top of that, I also had to work a department on the floor, and on top of that, I had to monitor the employees on the floor. So it's like I was putting up boxes, because when you're working overnight, you work the stock. You put the stock on the shelves. That's the job of an overnight person. There isn't magic fairies that make like games appear on the game aisle and like whatever. No, that's us. We put those there. And so I'd have to do that. So I'd be working like 4 or 5 pallets, but while doing that, I'd have to stop in between to go check on the cashiers, then come back and do another box, and then go check on somebody over there, and then come back and do another box, and then go handle this customer over there, and then come back and do another box. I didn't, like, we don't just stand there or just do one task. It's like there's 50 different tasks that you have to do kind of simultaneously. But after a while, it took a toll on me, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to leave, and then I moved where I'm living now, which is states away from where I was living before. Like, I moved basically from one side of the states to the other side, is what I did. And that took a toll. Like, I did really well for the move, which is shocking, because I thought I was gonna fall to pieces. But I did pretty well for the move, but it's like once I got here, I got even more scared to leave the house. Maybe because it's such a big change, and I don't actually know anybody here, because the other benefit back there, I had friends from school, like, so I knew people, and I wasn't, like, the only person there. But now here, I don't really have friends, like, that I could go over to see and everything like that. I have my girlfriend. I have my child, and I have her parents. That's where we live. But I don't have, like, a bud that I can go do something out with in the world or whatever. Like, it's just, it's all new and it's all different, and it's been a year now, and I'm still struggling to get used to it. So that's part of my struggle. And then, like I said, every day going, God, I need to film something. God, I need to film something. It needs to be interesting. If it's not interesting, they'll hate me. If they hate me, then I won't get anywhere. I need this to get somewhere, and I need this to work. But putting all that energy on it is probably making it worse, because then, you know, you guys will see the videos and be like, no, she's she's so worked up or worried about everything that it's not worth watching. But what I want is to be able to just sit here and then, like, talk about this stuff that scares me, stuff that worries me, stuff I want to achieve, and then bring you guys on the journey with me. And if I do achieve it, like if I make it to that walking trail that I still haven't made it to, I want to be like, guys, guess where I'm at? I made it to the walking trail, so we can all celebrate these minor, like, little victories, because that's the thing I was taught before, is that don't just celebrate just the huge victories, also celebrate little ones, like, oh, I made my bed today, which is sometimes hard for people because they don't want to get out of bed, because they have depression, so they don't want to get out of bed. I managed to shower. Some people struggle with doing that because they struggle with getting the motivation to get up and actually take a shower, because that's so much effort, and not because they're lazy. Not because we're lazy. We're not lazy. We're struggling. And it's not fair to be looked at as like, oh, you can't work a job, you must be super lazy. No, that's not the issue. There's like 100 other issues going on than that. And some people, they struggle enough to just even wake up in the morning, let alone, you know, work and then have responsibilities and have people expect anything of them, because that overwhelms them and that turns them into nothing, because then they go into these little balls of self-hate and then don't want to do anything anymore. Even the simplest task is brushing their teeth. It's just not worth doing anymore, because why bother? Why? Nobody cares about me anyway, so why should I brush my teeth? Nobody's gonna see it, nobody's gonna smell it, nobody's gonna worry about my teeth being gone. It's just, they don't think anyone cares, or anyone, or that they don't even care about themselves. It's a struggle for people. Shane Dawson has a struggle just even taking off his shirt. He worked really hard on losing a lot of weight, and he's still terrified for anyone to see any part of his body unless he's in all black and like this big. Like, he doesn't like to show his entire body on camera. That's a struggle for him. And it's not for any reason like he's lazy or he's being like weird or anything like that. It's because it scares him. And that's valid, and it should be valid. All of these things should be validated in a way. Like, it's like, you know, nobody wants to understand anybody else. They just want everyone to, like, understand them. And it's like, well, part of that is understanding other people, too. And I don't like people looking at it like we're using this as a crutch. Because really, it is actually hard. Like, it's not the hardest thing in the world. There's hundreds of people with harder lives, and I understand that, and that's not what we're trying to say or whatever, but saying get over it or suck it up or deal with it is not a way to help. It's not a way to help, and we need help. And I'd like this channel to help. Like, I would like for people to see that I struggle, and that I succeed, and that I struggle again, and that I succeed sometimes again. I would like people to see that and then be like, man, same, me, you know? And God, how cool would it be to, like, one day, if I ever got big, to go and, like, you know, collab with actual YouTubers, more popular YouTubers, and then just sit and have our video be us just talking about how they feel about things and how they struggle with things and what makes them scared and what makes them not scared, or what helps soothe them. Because there's methods. Like, I know Bunny uses squishies. She likes those. Those help calm her. But everybody has their thing. Like, I like the squishies. Those calm me. Those are wonderful. I also like music. Music helps, especially if it has lyrics, because then I'm sitting there and I'm listening to lyrics instead of spiraling out of control. It helps me get through things. And I like to paint. I like to draw. Those are things that soothe me. knitting soothes me. Not all that great at it, but it soothes me. I can't do a purl stitch. Anyone out there can dumb down how you're supposed to do the purl stitch, I would appreciate that, because I've tried it 1,000 times. No idea how to do it still. Not a clue. It won't work. I can only do knit stitch. I don't know why. But maybe I don't work in reverse, because it's like a reverse, I don't know. Anyway, but my point is there's a lot of stuff that's worth talking about, and I shouldn't keep struggling with talking about it. I should come up with, today's video is going to be about stress relievers and things that work sometimes for people with stress issues like mine. And, you know, things like that. That's stuff I should probably bring into this channel. And I would love to eventually collab with people like Josh Peck and, like, I'm shooting really high. That's aiming super high. There's no way I'll ever meet Josh Peck. He's way up there. But, and like, Shane Dawson and, Ricky Dillon and all of those people, you know, and, like, sit and be like, hey, so let's talk about your anxieties and your, you know, struggles and what you have going on with you, and, you know, what do you do that helps that and all that stuff. That'd be a great way for this to go, and that's kind of my goal and hope. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop babbling now, because it's been like 20 minutes of me just rambling, as usual. Most of my videos are gonna be this. It's just me sitting here rambling about nothing. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Remember when people said that? I'm saying that. It's free to subscribe. You don't even have to like me. Just subscribe. I think turn on that notification bell if you want to have my notifications. I post every Tuesday. So look forward to that. If you post that, if you hit the bell, you're gonna get a bunch of pop-ups on Tuesday. Follow me on all my social media. I will link that all below. I will link my Etsy shop. I will link my Patreon. Please, would love some subscribers to my Patreon. It would really help so much with so much of my struggles if you would subscribe to my Patreon. I give away free gifts and stuff to my subscribers on my Patreon. Each tier has, like, what stuff you can get, my dolls, my bracelets, soap, stuff like that. And it'll be linked below. Yeah, that's it. Whatever, like, that's all I got. I'll link everything that matters, and I'll see you guys in the next video.